It's easy to take what we hear for granted. Granted the ability to decide when to lend a listening ear. Many voice boxes talk a good game, those voice boxes aren't always able to hear. What's to really be made of these voices go unspoken? I listen to speeches from keynote speakers. The keynote was to articulate motion. The deaf are definitely not mute because sound is preferred over silence. Ask a friend about a friend that talks too much. As far as peace and quiet is concerned, high volumes will have to be muffled. In turn, deaf jams will have to speak up. I remember hearing myself for the first time through a tape player where tissue had to be used to capture the recording. In order to record, the tape guide had to be blocked from outside noises. I was definitely on to something. As the tape track repeated my voice back, I was hearing again for the first time. For the first time since words uttered from the mouth of babes, I could feel what it felt like to communicate. I kept returning to that tape. My voice, shielded from steel objects and clutter, could only be accessed when the outside world was covered. By separating myself, I took an oath to be the most deaf. Hence, hearing was discovered. What I felt compelled to say had already been packaged. A nice vintage box of vocabulary words. Sure, the content spoke volume, the undertone told how the deaf go unheard. A poet plays the role of the tape player so that hearing can be enabled. Our words fulfill verses, verses fulfill songs. The universe is our record label. When we express to produce a visual, we express how to write. This is a love song for the deaf to know what music sounds like. We'll block you from the scattered chit-chatter so that your words may be amplified. Our tapes will be your hearing aids. Your voices are an important part of rotation. We'll make sure your songs get played. By adding images to depict storylines, we can find soundboards to draw contemporary rhymes. Soundproof walls may be installed so that sound waves don't interrupt our studio time. Sign language will never stop drawing upon oral tradition. Voices speak in more ways than one. Say something. Our PA systems aren't always plugged in. You have the power to teach the mute how to speak. Our earplugs affect the way that we comprehend. Speak up with any medium you choose. Try practicing song placements until stereotypes are removed. Your words will reach home, mixed and mastered. A newborn will hear her baby rattle. Teenagers will hear the sound of the speeding train. Adults will hear the wind chimes on the front porches. By the time they're elders, they will hear the sopranos in the attic. Gossip will have become mundane. Try remember hearing your voice for the first time. Doesn't matter if that listening device was different than mine. At some point you blocked out the world and recorded verses only a maestro could write. You are the masters of your craft, players any record you like. Where would the music industry be without you? Surrounded by sound bites trying to tease their way through. A tape lays between the composition and the firming and taping the rendition. This is your debut. We hear you. Definitely. Your deaf jams will be sound scanned. And every time you speak out loud, an audiologist will have a tape on hand. And when the tape player starts to record, your words will break through the sound barriers into the music awards. X up.